Director of Sports Nigeria. Obi has been involved in promoting and linking opportunities in the technology, sport, and entertainment industries in Nigeria and beyond for decades. He has been executive producer for global events, major global TV franchises and festivals, including FIFA Under 20 World Cup 1999, Half Nations Cup 2000, Big Brother Nigeria 2006, Dragons Den Nigeria 2007, The Apprentice Africa 2008, Nigeria State 2009 to 2012, Calabar Festival 2008, and Calabar Rocks TV series 2008, Vodafone Icon Ghana 2011, Soccerex West Africa 2012, Social Media Week Lagos 2020, 2012 to 2020, just to name a few. OBFCF is the national coordinator of the technical working group for the creative industries, tourism, culture, and hospitality sectors for the 2020 to 2030 media and long-term national development plan for the Nigeria 2050 agenda. He was a senior special assistant to the President of Nigeria for social media and digital policy in 2015, and the first African to have a cabinet appointment for the digital economy. OBS has worked with and under bilateral corporations, governments, Eton College, and the University of Harlem, and has taken numerous professional courses. It doesn't feel like you and I do. Please let's put our hands together to the honor of
field about how the mainstream will tech innovation conversation now. The council feels it's kind of in a silo somewhere and it's not the main conversation, whereas I actually feel this should be the conversation. The conversation. I know I still speak expectorate, but I'll use this big guy. For me, it's all about the opportunity, right? And I feel the opportunity the technology innovation provides is for Africans to leave from, and not leave from this kind of scale. And that is you have to disrupt. You have to disrupt a number of industries, a number of spaces in the community. That's things that we have to be doing. We need to learn to share that, share information. It's not going to kill you sharing information. People are walking around holding information as if they're going to die with it. It's not going to help you. Nobody knows what you do. And a lot of times, the person sitting right next to you, like, even though we say, Africa is online, and what I mean by that is, if you look at the markets we have, right, probably now, to a foreign degree are shocked in comparison to the not find it. I actually used to find a shock in the markets Lagos. None of these help, nobody can fly. That right there is real in every single African country. So probably we're talking about 150 billion Kano in Kaduna in fact, bringing ourselves online and getting ourselves discoverable is probably, for me, the most important thing. But if I go back to what is the most important thing for us, I think skills and education, right? I think that we see a lot of people on the continent, and especially even in the innovation space, and I'll make some parallels when I'm talking to the creative industry. A lot of the guys that we've worked with over the years in the creative industry, their skill set has come more from intuition than they were taught what they're doing. So people who were playing video games became editors, right? And from becoming editors, they found themselves able to do post-production, then they could do production, and later now, as an executive producer or something, that's a 15-year journey. But what you now see is that at the time when they started, there was no pathway. So when we talk about what is going on with it's something I said earlier, a lot of times when we talk technology and innovation, Africans, and especially the younger generation, behave as if it started sometime in the 2000s, and the startup ecosystem is a new conversation. And for older people, they used to call it private practice when I was growing up. People had multiple jobs. At the 9 to 5, they were doing other things because they had to do other things to survive. So they were selling on the side, they were selling retail, they were doing fashion, they were running a shop, but they still had a 9 to 5 job. And that's your parents and your grandparents. And they were all startup entrepreneurs, just as some of you are today. So it's not new. And innovation is also not new to Africa, because if you're on the continent, you understand where you're from. Like indigenous innovation, which is not too far from where we are. So skills and education to me is actually the most important thing. I don't know about the rest of the continent, but it's years, and what we're producing as outputs is restricting our opportunities. So we know we need to fix curriculum, we need to fix deliverability, because not enough people are getting opportunity. What kind of skills does it give you? Because the reality is our country is not producing the jobs, right, in terms of the formal sector, the 9 to 5. So we have to be able to understand that the single most important asset we have on the continent and in Nigeria is actually the human beings. Okay? It's not the mineral resources, it's not the gold and the oil, it's the people. So if you actually invest all the money into the people and skill them up, then Africa can be talking about how do we add, so what we should be talking about is how do we add 100 million jobs in the next 10 years? How do we add those skills to our people? So to me, that is the most important thing. That's not Africa being offline. I just talked about this, that yeah, we have 150 million mobile devices in Nigeria, and yet less than 40 million Nigerians on social media, right? Data is a problem, price points are a problem, what they can do when on the phones is a problem. Every digital platform is on the constant, okay? More options so we can monetize by definition, and that created everything we see now. Now everybody has a chat room for conversation, tweet chat. The Twitter chat rooms are purely disrupting Clubhouse, right? Because Clubhouse was stuck on iOS, all of us were upset, right? So everybody's trying to get to this thing, but again, it is a lot of it is to do with the disrupting these platforms, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram, whether it's YouTube. What I'm talking about is why can't we not also build some of these platforms? Yeah. And digital sovereignty is a really important issue as well. For me, it's incredible. I think we need to amplify the story. I think it's still in the sites where it should be the main stage. So it was all over the place, doing a lot of work, but collaboration is an issue You know, people have issues with sharing space and sharing thought leadership. But I think the most important thing that we can actually do is storytelling and how we tell the story, being intentional. So how you talk about yourself affects how people think about you, how you're most prepared to actually own your identity in terms of, I'm African, this is my identity, I have thousands of years of innovation in my DNA. Ife, Benin bronzes, Igbo Uku, the pharaohs of Egypt, it's all us, it's ours. It's not new to us. So stop behaving as if innovation arrived in Africa. It's when you unlock yourself to understand that. And I really want to see innovations and bring them to the modern world. Because if I look at Ifa and binary code, if I look at Igbo cosmology and numerology, look at the Adrenka codes and what they mean for the mathematical construction of the universe, you have to understand that what we bring to the table is much more than just mythology. Okay? It's real, it's tangible, but we have for too long perhaps been avoiding our essence while chasing some few other version of ourselves. Right? Whereas what we should be doing is sometimes go back into yourself to bring your real self out. I think that's really important. So fixing problems. I mean, I think a lot of stuff that happens on the continent, we were not addressing the key issues. The number one problem on the continent for me is jobs. How do we get jobs? How do we get people employed? How do we upskill the population? And how do you give hope to people? Because that inspiration and hope is what gives you the energy to live and to drive forward. And jobs, right, is the most important thing that gives you dignity. And you see all sorts of commentary in the development world about the type of jobs, dignity of work. And all these things are critical, but actually, the first and most important thing is let them be working. We've got to increase productivity. Anybody who's serious, we know that in our country, I don't know about every other country, we certainly have enormous productivity issues, enormous unemployment, underemployment, and also people are not utilizing or sharing in each other. So to give you an example of this, it's like AI. We're all seeing what's happening with AI and ChatGPT. I almost use it for this speech. I mean, so we see what's happening, but a friend of mine, last week was saying something to me, and it was so important. He said to me, "Oh, we have focused on African language modeling." And I was like, "Why?" He said, "Listen, they've been training AI without us, right? They've been training these things without us. Where's our content? Where's the African experience? Where's the knowledge? And where's our innovation? And where's the Black experience in the AI? But if you don't do it, you're not going to be in it. If you're not in it, I don't even know what that means. Okay? So it is important because sometimes these things are happening right in front of you, but you're not recognizing the signal. And trust me, AI is going to shape everything. I mean, the amount of answers I get out of AI now, I'm already lazy. I already know that, okay, I'm going to ask this thing, reinforce my statement. It gives me reinforcement. It's my words, but I still understand that it's an incredible tool. And I think for us as Africans, we should try to bring our indigenous cultures, our languages, our experience and our history into these spaces so that we can do what we're supposed to do, which is to thrive. Okay? Access. Access is everything on the continent. I mean, that's really what I believe is at the fundamental heart of a place like AfriLabs and why that work is so important. But access also means it's also about education, right? You really need to educate the people that are looking for these things because the capital flows and patient capital is really not on the continent at this point in time. One of the problems we have on the continent, and it's something that we really need to address, and it's the same thing in the creative industry. And you hear all the time, I'm sure you guys hear it, but Nollywood is complaining Netflix, the Nigerians of Africa. I think the other two countries are feeling right now. This is very important. Second, who have invested in many of the countries, in Nigeria, is by far that. When we were exporting our music, half the artists that we heard in those days I would take them out and put them on channel O because the NCA channel will not play them. So then the artist would go to the NCA, that's my video on channel, because we're denying our people services, and people are denying you access, not giving you the opportunity. Who said you can do it? Why? Well, we're sitting here several times. I said, listen, and I'll get to that. Those sectors are access in the community. This is what the community together, where they can share knowledge and build trust. Yeah. We're in the age of IP. Okay. Unfortunately, this is African IP. Okay. As if African IP does not have validity. That is the problem, because why am I having to justify insurance? But people backing African IP are not African. China, France, Germany. When I explain this thing, the problem is we have to walk our minds and stop getting stuck. Yeah, is what he said. Whatever is happening, it comes originally as IP. It's not about how you can develop that IP and push it to something that is actually useful to society and gives opportunities to people. Yeah. So for me, we really need to back the storytellers. And storytellers come in many guises. Sometimes when I say storytellers, people think I'm talking about somebody sitting under a tree. I'm like, not quite. You know, the guy in the podcast is a storyteller. The author is a storyteller. The musician is a storyteller. The filmmaker is a storyteller. An artist is a storyteller. All of them are giving you narrative and perspective that is important. But when you connect it all together and apply that to it, then you get that is where technology also comes in. The whole Web 3.0 phenomenon and NFT presents more opportunity. So African creators, African history, African archiving. Because if you're sitting here today, to give you an example, I'm a custodian of a large elementary. Why can't I take it? You want to bring the mini bronzes back? Why? I talk about this all the time. I support the mini bronzes, but other people in the day we're looking for the bronzes. This is the problem, because we're disconnected from self. So we don't see the value of who we are. So we keep sidestepping the actual fact. Right? People are ready to put, there are investors putting $100 million museum in Berlin to host the art. But the Nigerians are acting like, maybe it's not so important. But they will pay $100 to enter a museum in London, in New York, in Doha. So when do we understand our own value and our own intrinsic capacity that we bring to the table? We've got to think about it. Those are the African opportunities now, right? I don't like potential. The word potential does my head. People say, potential. We're way past potential, right? We're way past potential. And so I said, African soft power. Afrobeats from Nigeria and piano from South Africa. Hollywood is one of the first Nigerian soft industries. Nobody gave them, had no money. That's what Hollywood did. It's exactly the same thing Afrobeats did. Nobody gave us any money. Nobody even gave us access. They want us in the room, they want us on radio or TV. We just kept going. We ignored them. When we bypass them, we have to bypass. And now everybody's chasing. Right? That's going to be the same journey for this sector. At first it's ignored. The first time, what are they doing? 2013, 2012, these boys, what are they doing? We didn't deal with that case factor. it, and then it started happening, everybody's like, so this is what is going on. Gets to Lagos to have relevance. What this is about is that the startup industry are the innovation industry. But when you think innovation, think about the music industry, think about the film sector, think about the arts. They're all innovating, they're all creating. The separation is that these guys here could create the products and the platforms that sector's larger. And if you do that together, the money wins, right? But what we need is the platforms to make us go further and take our platforms global, not just product plans and they're here today. So for me, that is something we have to take advantage of. And this comes back to I'm almost done, about Africans tracking Africa. Right? You know, I want to grow up in a place where we just come from outside the continent, from institutions and corporations outside the continent, international development organizations, which is all great. What happens when that's only 10% of the funding? Because African countries have understood this is the only way we're going to move the continent forward. So we put all our resources into technology and innovation. Because technology and innovation have a knock-on effect in every single sector. There's no sector on the planet. So the new focus for me is that number one is to fully bring Nigeria and Africa online. Fully. There's all these markets discoverable to grow real e-commerce. Right? Focus on jobs, technology, and innovation. Jobs is what you're doing. There's an opportunity to X10, 10 times, by 10 times scale your economy. And that's something that we all need. Because we need to, when we start moving people out of poverty, this is what it's about, right? Mass education, mass. Have a situation where we mainstream the conversation. It should be driven by the heads of state, the AFDB, the AFTCA, AfrExit. And I've said they're great, but I just hope that by the time you're dispersing, African innovators going to deposit their grandparents, collecting funds. Because, you know, IP needs to become the primary collateral for those looking for funding to unlock the future. Silicon Valley, Hollywood, which together with a little bit of agriculture, the wine industry, make California one of the top 3 economies in the world. It's purely driven by IP. This continent, if we back African IP, we'll be in a different situation in 10 years' time. We will not be begging anybody for anything. We will actually be being chased by everything. Because our IP is endless. That is our superpower. Thank you very much.
So if you ask somebody was necessary for me to read the entire thing. Thank you so much, Obi. The Africans that we have is that we are going to work out there because we understand that innovation is we'll be heading on to the panel now, and I'd like to invite Moyinlua Joseph, who will be moderating the panel session. The panel session is focused on building successful. Moyi is the acting executive secretary of the Innovation Support Network, Nigeria's national network of over 140 innovation, technology, and entrepreneurship hubs across 25 states. So please let's put our hands. Finance, sales and and she is the former country director at UK Nigeria Tech Hub Modernization and Innovation. Justina, please. platform with over 6.5 million registered users. Who was the next panel? Panel is Gary Ferry. Gary is the CEO. For the past few days, I feel like I've been training some of the innovations in their network on how to better support innovators and their community. And eventually, for the long term is for them to mentor or incubate some of the startups that are going to be building products and services that will be able to the economy. And to set the tone for the conversation on this happening, there was a report last year by the Nigerian Startup Ecosystem report that put the number of startups in Nigeria 4,000 jobs in Nigeria's economy, contributing to the GDP, supporting families, paying salaries obviously, and eventually contributing to the economy. And I want to start from your speaker and asking you that you see how much startups contribute to the economy, and you see that all stakeholders support their growth, and particularly happy about the discussion of panelists. We have government, we have investors, we have government partners, the challenge and opportunities that exist in Nigeria's landscape that stakeholders can address to support the growth of startups.
Thank you very much for that question. Good morning, everyone. It's good to be here. First of all, I'd like us to just examine the entire spectrum of stakeholders in the Nigerian startup. I'll start with my favorite, which is the government. Why is the government my favorite? We're all here making contributions into the startup ecosystem. But I believe that the government is one of the powerful tools to deliver a wholesale approach and deliver the largest coverage of impact. It sits with purposes really starting. That's the starting point. Imagine a world where startups come with registration. Imagine a world where startup contributors never the imagination. Imagine a world where the education policy opens up a funnel for the technical skill development from very, very early on. Because what you find is if we don't develop a funnel, 10 years down the line, we're where we are today with the gaps that we see in companies globally. How about population in Nigeria? People who are 17 years and under. That tells us that there's a big funnel for us to quickly convert into viable technology players or digital skills. Like I said, my first favorite with the government. If across the implementation of policy, there is federal work given to closing the gap that we find. Policies around internet penetration, which are some of the impediments amazing platform we have like right beside which sorry, I can't see any it's a lot of it's just great work with making sure that get more readiness. You can have start preaching and only two are even worth looking in. You don't understand how to shoot their food. You don't understand the power of storytelling. Today, so for the stakeholders and the routine there is fellow founders, too much sure. I don't think they're not ready today. I'm ready in 2 years. Another important stakeholder will be the talent industry, right? innovation is what drives intelligent people to flesh out those innovative work, right? And turn them into products.